With an embarrassing loss against the Trailblazers in Portland, could the Nuggets bounce back with the big win in the Big Easy? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. Let's get it. Hey everyone, let's talk sound quality. Imagine having pro-level audio that's easy to set up, flexible, and sounds incredible. That's the Røde Pod Mic USB. It's got both USB and XLR connections, so whether you're recording solo at home or in a full studio setup, you're covered. And get this, the built-in DSP effects let you adjust the sound with zero lag. You get that deep, smooth broadcast tone right out of the box. It's versatile, powerful, and basically makes your voice sound like pure gold. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So the Nuggets tonight played the New Orleans Pelicans once more. This was their second matchup. If you remember, almost a month ago, the Pelicans, who were even probably more beaten than they are today, got a sneaky win against us in the first matchup of the NBA Cup. And we were their only win in the NBA Cup run. So this was definitely time for payback. And this time also we had both Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokić, because last time Nikola Jokić was out for the birth of his son. Aaron Gordon was out before with his calf strain. They were both back, full healthy Nuggets, only Dario Saric, but we don't really count Dario Saric right now. And then also Vlatko. But, I mean, those are two bench players that we could easily replace with other bench players. And Malone doesn't typically play 15 players anyway, so they're kind of neither here nor there. But for the most part, healthy Nuggets. And we also had another game with the Avs facing the Seattle Kraken. And luckily, both our Nuggets and Avs got W's tonight to correct the horrible 2-loss, 1-win from the other night. So the Avs are nice to be going on a good win streak right now. Only if we could get the Nuggets back onto a win streak. This would have been a really good win had we also won against the Trailblazers. But, we did, the Nuggets did win. It was 132 to 129 in overtime. So lots to talk about here. We'll definitely probably go a little bit longer than normal, but because there is, again, lots to talk about. And so let's start from the basics here. So first takes, the Nuggets were in their white jerseys once again. I almost feel like those white jerseys are a little plagued right now. So it was good to get a win with those things to kind of get that bad juju out of them. The Pelicans were in the navy blue and gold, ironically our colors. The Nuggets starters were the usual suspects with Nikola Jokić, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and Christian Braun. And once again, the Nuggets did win with 132 to 129 in the Big Easy in overtime. So let's get into the game here. The first quarter started with the Nuggets controlling the tap. Jokić didn't actually hit it to any of the Nuggets players. Technically, the Pelicans actually did get the tap, but it was only Murray who got the actual possession of the ball. So it went to the Nuggets. And he immediately tried to get a layup and was fouled. He got to the foul line, got 2 of 2, which was a good start. You always want to see an actual bucket, but we'll take the free throws. A bucket is a bucket, and it also gets a foul on them, gets us closer to getting a bonus. But so then we got back-to-back shots by Pelicans to take the lead, which was there was a bucket and then a 3. It was just kind of typical Nuggets games nowadays. AG gets an offensive foul, causes a turnover. Jokić was struggling to get the ball in. Several times he missed shots. He really was struggling in that first half of the game to make anything. And I wouldn't even say I would credit the Pelicans. If anything, it felt more like Jokić was protesting. It's kind of felt like that for a couple of games lately. It kind of feels like he's not playing as hard as he was before. Like, if you remember when the season started, Jokić was pulling major numbers. He was just crashing the stats. And then now all of a sudden, he's barely making a double-double. Sometimes he's eking out a low triple-double. And so it kind of feels like almost either one, he burnt himself out by trying to play so hard in the beginning, or he's a little upset that he's the one that always has to carry the team. Could be a little of both, but it feels like there's something there, because it doesn't seem like Jokić has been his usual self lately within the last, I want to say, 3 or 4 games. Probably ever since they lost to the Wizards. That probably really irked him. And I wouldn't blame him. You lose to the worst team in the league by what was it, like 12 points? That's embarrassing. They went on a 15 losing streak and they break that with you. Well, tonight, the Pelicans were on a 6-game losing streak and we almost broke their streak. So nice to at least not break their streak, but to build upon ours. So we start off now with 1 game. Hopefully we can continue to build on that and get a second one tomorrow. So Jokić was struggling in the first quarter and in the second quarter. The Pelicans got a steal and a foul 3 minutes into the game, 9-2. Finally, Michael Porter Jr. sinks a 3. CB kicks it out to AG for a made 3. Jokić to AG for a layup and a lead, and the lead 10-9. This was at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. Murray loses the ball, turnover for Pelicans to get an alley-oop and the lead again. Pelicans sink a 3 and are first to 15. Pelicans keep scoring points on layups, which Nuggets seem to be not able to defend against. Like, that was really frustrating. It was a constant reminder of that stupid shot that Simmons banked in at the end of the Portland Trail Blazers game that should have easily been contested by any one of our guys. I mean, had Malone put Peyton Watson out there in that Trailblazers game, I guarantee you he would have been able to block that shot. But some reason he didn't, and some reason the other guys didn't even try. And so for some reason, right now, layups are kryptonite. And it almost seems like a lot of teams started watching that Trailblazers game and it was like, oh, well, they got it on a layup, so let's just do layups against the Nuggets and we'll get buckets every single time. And so far, it's actually been working. A little bit annoying, not gonna lie. So then Murray sinks a 3 to get the Nuggets to within 1. Pelicans respond with another layup. I'm telling you, another layup. It was like layup central for the entire game. They were scoring most of their points on layups. It was so frustrating to see them not even contest against those layups. But Strother answers with a made 3 to tie the game. And guess what happens? It wasn't really a layup, but it was an alley-oop to Boston for the Pelicans to get the lead again. And that was another thing that they did a lot. They did a lot of alley-oops. We did a couple, but they did a lot of alley-oops and layups to maintain a lead through the majority of the game. Murray gets a step-back jumper. The Pelicans still win the first quarter 29-28. So then we go into the second quarter. Pelicans control the ball starting out, and they start the quarter off with a layup. Nuggets start the quarter off with no Jokić, and Murray to Westbrook for a made bucket to keep the Nuggets to within 1. Hawkins, though, sinks a 3 to get the lead up to 4. Murray responds with another jump back for 2, and then they trade alley-oops for a little bit. DJ fouls, but it becomes a take foul, and then it is reviewed. Like, this was the stupidest thing. So the Nuggets were trying to rebound their own ball, an offensive ball. The Pelicans got it. They actually it was Hawkins. He got the rebound. He attempted to run it down, and I kid you not, he travels. The refs didn't call it. Instead, they called DJ, who was trying to set a screen. they called it a take foul, and then they reviewed it and then called it a flagrant. So they got 2 free shots plus the possession back. It was a stupid freaking call. And so I hope that no other New Orleans fans are saying that it was Pelicans versus the refs tonight, because that call was complete bullshit. I kid you not. That was such a horrible call. And we'll get into another call that's kind of similar later on that was kind of mirror, but it wasn't even close. So after this, the Nuggets with back-to-back turnovers caused the Pelicans to go on a run and bring the lead up to 9 with 47-38. Pelicans sink a 3 for the Pelicans to be the first to 50. MPJ shoots a 3. The rebound bounces to him. And I kid you not, he doesn't even try to attempt to get the ball. The Pelicans get it, who charge the basket and cause the lead to balloon to 12. MPJ had a really bad game, and I don't know what's going on in his mental state right now, because you could tell he was not very happy, even in the pre-game photos that they normally post on like Instagram and X or whatever. Like, he wasn't smiling. Normally he's smiling, and lately he hasn't been smiling. And so I don't know if it's maybe this whole trade rumors has gotten into his head or something. I don't know, but he definitely was not himself tonight at all. And there was several times where he even gave up shots, good-looking shots that he could easily make. He gave it up, and then either tried to attempt a more difficult shot and then got a charge or got a turnover. It was just not good. And so he actually got pulled and benched, and we didn't really see him from a lot of the rest of the game. He didn't even make double digits in points, which is not good. So Jokić, though, gets his first points. We're in the second quarter with 3 minutes left in the second quarter, and finally Jokić gets some points. And it's not even an actual bucket. It's him going to the foul line and making both free throws. That's how Jokić made his first 2 points. That's why I'm telling you, it was a completely different Jokić that we see from normal. Because for it to go down to the 3-minute mark in the first half and he not even score anything until he's at the foul line, that's unheard of. Like, normally Jokić at least has double digits, maybe like 10, 11 by the end of the second quarter. Like, normally he has it by the end of the first quarter, but like, for him to not even have any points until the 3-minute mark of the second quarter is just ridiculous. The Pelicans, though, win the second, 31-38. The Pelicans go into the half with the lead, 67-59. So 8-point lead they had. So then we go into the third quarter. The Nuggets start the quarter off with holding the Pelicans to a shot clock violation and a made 3. Started to look like maybe they were going to change things up, and it was going to be a different Nuggets we were going to see. Maybe we were going to see that they were going to win these 2 quarters. Because remember, lately they've been only winning 2 quarters. So they get the clock violation, and then immediately MPJ gets a made 3. Now maybe MPJ's going to heat up. Maybe we're going to have a Porter quarter. Jokić sinks a 3, followed by Murray. A steal and a bucket gets the Nuggets to within 4. Jokić looks like he's either, again, protesting or just giving up. His energy starts to go down. The rest of the Nuggets start to go down. Malone challenges an offensive foul on MPJ. Like I told you, he had a good-looking shot, and he gave it up to try to charge for the basket. And instead of getting fouled, he got a charging call, which then Malone challenges and was unsuccessful. So they took away his timeout, took away the rest of the challenge, and now we're down one more challenge. Or one more, we're down a challenge, but we're also down another timeout. Very crucial for the rest of this game. So keep that in mind. The Pelicans get whatever shots they want, and the lead goes to 17. Where have we heard this story before? The Nuggets down by 17, It is the consistent story of this season. The Nuggets continue to be specifically down by 17. Like, there's a couple of games here and there where they'll be down by 12 or by 20 or whatever, but the most specific number that is consistent almost throughout is 17. It's so weird and crazy that it takes 17, down by 17 points for them to start to care about basketball and about winning a game. So Jokić ends this quarter with a buzzer three, made buzzer three. So the Pelicans, though, still win the third quarter. They won the first quarter. They won the second quarter. And now they win the third quarter. How are the Nuggets going to pull this off? They won the third quarter 26-23, so a low-scoring quarter for one thing. I don't necessarily grant that for defense. I think that was just horrible offense, maybe a little bit of both from both sides, but it wasn't really. I would not credit the Nuggets defense with holding the Pelicans to only 26, because the Pelicans offense isn't that great either. They were lucky for a lot of their shots. They still won the third quarters. They won all three quarters. You would think, okay, how the Nuggets aren't going to win this. So then the fourth quarter starts. We get the control of the possession of the ball at the start of the quarter. Nuggets start off with DJ missing a layup, but Brody sticks with the play, gets the rebound, and a second chance points. P-Watt gets a bucket and a foul, makes the and one. Pelicans harass Brody to the point that Brody is forced to call the Nuggets' last timeout of the game. Really, they're already in a tight spot, and now they're even in a tighter spot. So that also, and I mean, they already lost their challenge. They have no challenge. Now they have no timeouts. Murray fouls DeJounte Murray at the logo when he was trying to make a three-point shot. Like, the worst foul you can make. Murray commits this foul, sends him to the free throw. Luckily, DeJounte Murray only makes two of the three. I mean, I was really hoping that he would make 0 of the three, but I'll take 2 rather than all 3. Hawkins gets the Pelicans first to 100. So they were the first to 15, they were the first to 25, they were the first to 50, they were the first to 100. Super frustrating. The Nuggets got the ball. Murray pitched up a 3-point shot, made the bucket, but when he put it up in the air, Strother got a hard foul from Green of the Pelicans. And it looked wicked. Like, it almost looked more like a football call or a play. And so they reviewed it, and they called it a flagrant, and they only shot, Strother only shot 1. But then we did get the possession back, but still, like, that was more of a warranted call than what DJ did. But if you ask me, I actually think that neither one should have been called. There should have been no flagrant calls tonight, because it didn't look as bad as the refs were trying to make it out to be. But we did get the ball back, and then Brody to DJ for a dunk. So that was nice. Turns into a 6-point play because we got the 3-point shot. Then we got the flagrant foul make, and then which was 1 shot, and then we got a bucket for 2. So 6 points. Nice. Pelicans respond with a 3. P-Watt finally gets the Nuggets to 100. Jokić gets a bucket and a +1 for a chance to tie the game, and then ties. Jokić gets a backdoor cut to Strother for a layup and the lead since the 6:40 mark of the first quarter. So we're at the fourth quarter, and the Nuggets haven't had the lead since that time that, if you remember back at the first quarter, what I was talking about, 10-9, that was the last time the Nuggets led. Now they're finally leading in the fourth. Of course, they lose that lead. Typical. AG gets a steal for CB to get the layup and extends the lead to 4. Murray, but then, the Pelicans obviously battle back and they tie the game, or they get actually the lead again. Murray, though, ties the game with 8 seconds left on the clock. Same thing as Portland. This is where I'm talking about. Same thing as Portland. If you remember the Portland game, we had 8 seconds left when the game was tied by Murray, I was so worried that the Pelicans were going to do a layup. Luckily, they did not. So the Nuggets were able to hold the Pelicans down, and they went into overtime. The Nuggets won the fourth quarter, 38-26. So they at least battled back hard enough in the fourth quarter to get it tied, and they were able to stay within striking distance those last quarters. But again, this is the Pelicans. They are the worst team in the Western Conference. This should have been already done and over with by the third. The Nuggets should have had a commanding lead, and they should have coasted in the fourth. But no, the Nuggets' energy completely controlled this game, and they defeated themselves for the majority of this game. And they made themselves work harder in the fourth to be able to bounce back. So now we go into the OT. OT starts again with a jump ball, and the Pelicans control the tap this time. Get it over to DeJounte Murray, who gets a jumper, and the Pelicans up by 2. Jokić responds with a hook, ties the game, and then an alley-oop from Jokić to AG for the lead. Murray gets a bucket and extend the lead to 4. Because it's back and forth scoring. And then finally we get 2, and then another bucket from Murray to extend it for 4. Game leads to teams fouling each other. Like this is we're going down to like the seconds of the game now. We actually had a 5-point lead in overtime, and yet the Nuggets are not good right now at holding their leads. And of course, it went down to the wire with only, I think it was only 3 to 2 points left, and they kept on just fouling each other, and it actually got very close for the Pelicans to actually win this game in overtime. It was not very fun to watch. The Nuggets, though, did win in overtime 13-10, so there you go. There's your 2 quarters that the Nuggets win. They won the fourth quarter, and they won the overtime. The 2 quarters that meant the most. If you're really talking about it. And again, they win 132-129. So we'll get into stats right after this. Hey everyone, if you're looking for a game-changing webcam that keeps up with every move, you've got to check out the Insta360 link. It's a 4K AI-powered webcam that auto-tracks so you're always in frame, even if you're moving around. Perfect for live streams, meetings, content creating, also podcasts. It adjusts to light, zooms in and out, and follows you naturally. This is hands-free, hassle-free, studio-quality production for anyone who wants professional visuals right from the desk. Insta360 Link is a total game changer. And we're back. All right, so let's get into these stats here. So Michael Porter Jr. played 23 minutes. Now, this was a game that went into overtime. So to say that he only played 23 minutes says something. Something was not right, especially when he's going into getting a charge call. He's not taking the shots that he's comfortable with, and just he was not present. His mind was not present. Maybe he's dealing with something, I don't know, but he did not have a good night. Had played 23 minutes, had 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. He had 2 blocks, but he was 2 for 8 in field goals, 2 for 6 in three-pointers, 2 for 2 in free throws. He had 4 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a -10. Aaron Gordon played 35 minutes, had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, was 6 for 12 in field goals, 2 for 4 in three-pointers, 3 for 6 in free throws, 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a -6. Nikola Jokić played 42 minutes, 34 seconds, had 27 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists. So he got his double-double, or his triple-double, and a double-double, but a triple-double. But again, this isn't necessarily that good of a stat because, once again, they went into overtime. He had to play overtime to get that triple-double. He didn't get the triple-double in regulation. So it was not a good night for him either. Though he did turn it on in those last 2 quarters. Those last 2 quarters were definitely him and Murray's best quarters. And so he also got 1 steal, 1 block, was 11 for 20 11 for 20 from field goals, 2 for 3 from three-pointers, 3 for 5 in free throws. He had 3 turnovers, 5 personal fouls, was a +6. Christian Braun played 38 minutes, had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 4 for 8 from field goals, 0 for 1 in three-pointers, 2 for 2 in free throws, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul, was a +2. Jamal Murray played 41 minutes tonight, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, 9 for 19 field goals, 2 for 9 in three-pointers, 7 for 8 in free throws, had 6 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a -5. So major ones here for the bench. We had Westbrook played 35 minutes, made 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, 9 for 14 field goals, 1 for 4 in three-pointers, 2 for 4 in free throws, 5 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a +6. Strother played 19 minutes, made 13 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 block, 4 for 8 from field goals, 1 for 5 in three-pointers, 4 for 4 in free throws, 2 personal fouls, was a +20. So he was the highest Nugget tonight. And then Peyton Watson, he had 17 minutes. He had 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, so 5. And then he had two really good blocks, though. He actually won the DPOG award tonight from Malone. And I would agree with that. He definitely played some really good defense tonight. And he was a +5. So the only other bench member was DeAndre Jordan, who played 10 minutes. He had 4 points off the bench and 4 rebounds, and he was a -3. So he didn't play. Malone didn't play Zeke Naji, Jalen Pickett, Hall, or Jones, Sarge, or Tyson. So, and I'm actually surprised he didn't play Tyson, because Tyson's his defense has been really good lately. I don't know. I probably would have tried to play him if I could have. So overall stats, we got 54 rebounds to the Pelicans' 43. We had 34 assists to their 37, so they were moving the ball around more than we were. We had 10 steals to their 16 steals, 8 blocks to their 9. We were 50% from field goals. They were 46. 30% from three-pointers. They were 30%, so we tied them there. 75% from free throws. They were 73. And then we had 22 turnovers to their 13. Ridiculous. 22 turnovers. That's just stupid. 19 personal fouls to their 23. So they definitely fouled more than we did. But we gave up more points in turnovers than they did. And like I said, their offense isn't that great. And so this was easily a game that the Nuggets could have won had they have just had better energy, urgency, drive to try to actually win this game. And you think that they would have, coming off of a loss as embarrassing as the one from the Trailblazers, you think that they would have come into this with just foaming at the mouth with how much they wanted to get a win. Not the case. It seemed like they had already resolved to just giving up the game originally, and then maybe they had a second heart change towards the end there. They're like, oh, maybe actually we should win. Like, that's kind of the feel that I got from this. But we'll get into the big takeaways after this. As a cinematographer, photographer, and now a podcaster, I do believe lighting is everything. And if you're serious about creating dynamic content, you need to check out Nanlite. They're all about precision and control. Whether it's soft, natural lighting or vibrant colors, Nanlite gives you full flexibility to set the mood for any scene. From compact LEDs to powerful softboxes, Nanlite has light solutions that fit every setup. It's ideal for photographers like myself, videographers like myself, and creators who want to pro-grade quality right out on their fingertips. With Nanlite, you're lighting like a pro every time. And we're back. So what does this win mean for the Nuggets? Well, it means that we went from to 15-11 with our record, advancing us to the 5th seed. We were 6th, now we're at the 5th seed, and it puts us 2 games behind the Mavericks. So hopefully the Mavericks lose 2 games and we win 2. Even if they lose 2 and we win 1, that would help us a lot. So let's hope for that. And then it also means we need to win more home games because we are really sucking it up at home. So, but the Nuggets should have dominated this game. Like I've said before, they should have dominated this game. Why? Because the Pelicans are a hurt team. They have Zion Williams is out. Brandon Ingram is out. Jose Alvarez is out. Like you have 3 of their major team members out. DeJounte Murray has been out. He just now is re-entering the roster again for playing. And then CJ McCollum was out as well. Like they're playing on gas right now, on fumes. They're playing on fumes. So to allow them to lead from the majority of that game against a fully healthy Nuggets is absurd. That just tells me that either the Nuggets themselves are protesting, they've given up, or both. Pelicans playing has landed them the last seed again. This is why we should have crushed them. In the Western Conference, the Nuggets or the Pelicans are not that good. They were on a 6-game losing streak, and yet the Nuggets' energy allowed the Pelicans to take this game into OT. The Nuggets keep winning or waiting until the 4th quarter to care about this game or any game. They wait until the 4th quarter. This game was almost identical to the Portland game, right? I've already said this before. The fact that it came down to 8 seconds to dictate what happens in this game. Same 8 seconds as before. And luckily this time we were able to do better, give us another second chance at that 8-second time. But to even put us in that position is just ridiculous. In order to be more consistent, it starts with defense and rebounding. The offense has shown for the most part, to be good. The Nuggets offense. I don't worry too much about it. Yeah, there's times where they can't make a bucket, but for the most part, it comes down to the defense and the rebounding. Those both have been the biggest struggles for the Nuggets lately, at least this season. And I would say even a little bit of last season too. Our defense wasn't that great, but it was better because we did have KCP, and his defense is amazing. I would say CB's offense is better than KCP's offense, but KCP's defense is better than CB's defense. Though CB's not to sniff at CB is definitely a good defender. He's just not as good as KCP was. And so then you also had that kind of veteran kind of mentality that you and knowledge that you got from KCP that would really amp up the bench a little bit more. And you get that more now with Westbrook, now that he's kind of leading the bench. But you definitely, the starters themselves played better defense when KCP was on there. So then when do we start to feel good about this team? I say when we have gone on a 5 to 6 game winning streak. I don't know about you. Maybe put your answer in the comments below. Let me know what you think. I personally think that I will only start to feel good about this team when they've started to they've started a 5 to 6 game winning streak. I don't think we've done that in a while. It's been a minute since they've gone on that long of a winning streak. I mean, I know we did have that 5-game winning streak at the beginning of the season, but that was almost kind of a fluke. Remember, several of those games were clutch games against teams that are sub 500. We shouldn't be doing that kind of those games against sub 500 teams. And as of now, Though it's extremely excruciating to watch this team. I almost wanted to turn this game off, to be serious. If I didn't do this podcast, I probably would have turned this game off. It was that bad for the majority of this game. Of course, I wouldn't have gotten to see them win, but at the same time, like this win, you would want this win to feel better, and it just doesn't because of the fact of how poorly they played. Like they just don't seem like they care. And especially after coming off of an embarrassing loss, you really want them to bounce back more aggressive, more determined to win. And you didn't get that tonight. And so it still doesn't feel great. To be honest, it doesn't feel great. I know the Pelicans don't feel great because their loss streak just extended to 7, but it doesn't really feel good to have to battle this hard against this kind of team when we should have easily have won this game way into the third quarter. But going forward, let's see, we got the Suns tomorrow in Denver. So they hop on a plane already. I'm sure they're already flying back to Denver as we speak. And they're going to play the Suns tomorrow night. And then after that, they get 1 day off. I think it's 1 day off. No, 2 days off. Because then tomorrow's the 23rd, 24th. So yeah, they get 2 days off, and then they're heading to Phoenix to face the Suns there on Christmas Day. Then they get a day off, and they come back to Denver to face the Cavaliers, and then a day off, and then they face the Pistons, and then I believe they get another day off or so, and then they face they end the month and the year in Utah playing the Jazz. So basically, I really hope that they get a win against the Cavs. Right now, the way that they're playing, I don't see them getting a win against the Cavs. I think they'll definitely lose that game. Let's hope that I'm wrong there. Hopefully they win against the Jazz and the Pistons, and then hopefully we get 2 wins out of the Suns against the Suns. But most likely, it'll probably be a 1-1 game. We'll probably win 1 and lose 1. If that does happen, I hope that we win the Denver game because we really need a win in that home area, especially against the Suns. We can't allow the Suns to come in. Last season was a joke. The Suns took both games in Denver, and it was just stupid. So who knows? But hopefully we get that win at least. So I'm guessing in these next 5 games that they'll probably come out with a 3-2 record, 3 wins, 2 losses, and we'll probably go to an 18-13 record by the end of the year. That's my guess. We'll see how it is. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's more like a 20 and 11 or 12 record. That'd be great. But that's pretty much all I got for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night for the Suns Nuggets game in Denver. So check back in there. I hope you liked this episode. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. We'll catch you tomorrow. Later.